So it appears that Cornel West has resigned from Harvard. He was a professor at Harvard for quite a while, I believe. And he has submitted his resignation letter. He is leaving. Some of the reasons that he cites, we're going to go over here in a second. But recently there was some controversy over this because he had requested a tenured position but was declined. One of the things that he cited was his support for the Palestinian people. Of course, we've seen that people at universities have been, being displaced for their comments about being pro-Palestinian. And so he has decided to leave. And he says that he is, seeking to tell the truth about the, quote, decadence in our market-driven universities. It says West announced in March that he would be leaving Harvard University's Divinity School and moving to the Union Theological Seminary in New York City. This move came after Harvard rejected West's request to convert his non-tenured position at the university to a tenured one. Quote, how sad is it to see our beloved Harvard Divinity School in such decline and decay? The disarray of a scattered curriculum, the disenchantment of talented yet deferential faculty, and the disorientation of precious students loom large. So you can see this is his resignation letter that he posted, dated June 30th. He did post that, appears yesterday. It says West wrote that despite taking a pay cut when he joined the Divinity School, he hoped that he would find, quote, some semblance of intellectual intensity and personal respect. How wrong I was, he wrote. West pointed to his courses that were categorized under Afro-American religious studies, despite having to do with the wide variety of subjects. He also cited poor pay increases and lack of opportunities. When my committee recommended a tenure review, also rejected by the Harvard administration, I knew my academic achievements in student teaching meant far less than their political prejudices. West wrote referencing his criticisms of the Israeli government's treatment of the Palestinian people, which West claimed had a part in his tenure request being rejected. Says apart from the professional issues that he saw, West also cited a lack of personal engagement, writing that he had only received 2 public replies when the death of his mother was announced in a Harvard newsletter. This kind of narcissistic academic professionalism, cowardly deference to the anti-Palestinian prejudices of the Harvard administration, and indifference to my mother's death constitutes an intellectual and spiritual bankruptcy of deep depths, West added. And so we did see that today. I did see this. How I actually saw this story first was Cornel West was actually trending on Twitter. So this was definitely a huge story. Obviously, Cornel West is a very, very big figure, not only in politics, but in a lot of fields. He kind of transcends multiple fields. It's politics, kind of the humanities, as well as, obviously theology and religion, right? He seems to be pretty big into, religion. And so he's kind of, big in a lot of different fields. And it is true that a lot of these universities do seem to be penalizing professors who are critical of the Israeli government. I don't know whether that's because the boards or the trustees or whatever at these universities are receiving donations from pro-Israeli groups or something like that. Do keep in mind that obviously the pro-Israeli lobby is very large in the United States. We're seeing that in Nina Turner's race. They're dropping like hundreds of thousands of dollars against Nina Turner. So that the money is serious, right? And this is something that we see, which is very unfortunate. But seeing Cornel West leaving Harvard is definitely a big deal. He was a professor there. He was denied tenure there. And it's pretty obvious that at the very least, his support of the Palestinian people at least somewhat played into that decision for them to actually reject him a tenured position. But Cornel West is very influential. He's a very powerful leader. And so we will see where he goes from here. Obviously, he's already decided on where he is going. But just goes to show how, corrupt and bad some of these high-end universities are.